And we'll call to order our April 8th, 2026 PROST meeting. And we'll start with the roll call. John Evans.
Joe Burke.
Jesse Roper.
Billy Cooksey.
Eric Henschel.
And at the moment, Laura Lynn Bockelman, Robert Sosman, and Sarah Brown are absent at the moment. Hopefully somebody wanders in. Public to be heard on non-agenda items.
Speaking of,
Perfect. Their name for roll call?
Sarah.
Perfect.
We do have a quorum now.
So do we have anybody online? Okay. Do you have any non-agenda items? Okay. Do we want to move forward with approval of minutes? Did anybody get a chance to look at them? Okay. I think we should table the minutes then until next meeting. It's nice when we have votes that we have a quorum of people that have actually got a chance, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get a chance to go over everything, so we will table that. We'll move on to action items. Veterans Garden at Community Park.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know it's not my place, but maybe do we want to
Wait for Mike.
possibly make a motion to amend the agenda to push that further down, wait for Mike, so
Okay.
that we can all have that discussion if he brings
Okay.
some pertinent information since last time.
I like it.
Okay.
So we'll just move that. Probably a fit good after a future meeting. I'm sure he'll be here by then. So we'll rearrange and we will talk about Arbor Day.
So next event we've got Arbor Day coming up on the 25th. There is a new representative that we're working with for Bartlett. They're going to continue their tradition of planting a tree or two, I guess, demonstration for the community. The library is on board. They'll be there, so they'll do their typical obviously the presence and the things that they bring in the community gathering, but also, they write on the little note cards and have everybody put them in underneath the trees. So there will be that demonstration or that opportunity as well. We will have typical park and play type atmosphere. But we did meet the new rep from Bartlett, and they're going to bring some of their equipment, obviously, to plant the trees, but they'll have it there for the public to see. They were they had talked about potentially maybe getting waivers and doing bucket rides for kids, like not high, but they decided that the liability was too much and it's too much of a crunch for us to try to figure it out internally with the town since it's our event. We were kind of like, nah, let's just maybe next year it's something we could add to it, but that is kind of liability on them to put people in that bucket, and it sounds like they're like, yeah, we shouldn't. But so they'll be there, plant a couple trees, and it'll be at Wellville, as you all know. We're still working on hopefully getting saplings. They talked about not being able to get them potentially this year, but they're going to look at multiple different distributors, so we should know that somewhat soon if we're going to have them or not. And then if you want to, just kind of below that, and then just a little bit bigger on the map.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So in the packet, there's the map. And this is just the typical map that we present in our special event permit. The whole parking lot at Wellville will be blocked for ADA accessibility, though that's most likely far greater amount of spots than is needed for this size of event. So we might have Bartlett most likely pull in would that be the north, I guess the northwest corner there with their equipment. The trees that they're gonna plant are right there along Halleck Lane, right past the entrance. There are two trees that have died right there, so they're gonna replace where they used to be with more hardy varieties and select something that is actually gonna hopefully live in Wellington. On a side note, I think from what I've experienced in going through the process of the Arbor scope. I know I mentioned this a while ago, and I don't know even if the newer PROST members knew this, but we captured every tree in our entire in the entire parks department and everything we take care of. And there are a fair few that are in poor or dead condition. So systematically, we've been going through park by park trying to take care of that, obviously within the budget, because we still have to do the regular tree care as far as spraying and mitigation for the pests. But from what I've been told and what I've kind of noticed, the trees here probably are about 5 to 7% more likely not to survive just because of the dry, harsh, windy conditions. So, as they're putting them in, we're really trying to be conscientious about making sure that there's mulch around the tree rings and everything like that. So, these demonstrations are really good, and at some point, I would love to be able to maybe like videotape it and like show the public like for them too, because as a public entity, we kind of do a little bit of the research for them, and we can present what tree species are working and what aren't. So kind of properly telling them and teaching them to properly plant trees would be something that I would like to do. So contemplating maybe just taking a short video and putting it on Facebook, because usually we'll put a little blurb out about like, come join us at Arbor Day, but then maybe halfway through we'll be like, this is how you plant a tree, to make sure that the root ball is the right depth and all that kind of stuff. So just another cool opportunity to kind of reach out and help the community a bit.
Nice.
So, yep, that's kind of the Arbor Day map, and I can't remember who else is going to be there.
I will be.
I'll be there after football.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Same.
I'll be there.
after soccer.
wonderful. We'll all be there
Right.
at some point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With sports going on.
Mhm.
And then just to kind of give you guys a little insight, I put this in the packet just so you know. For every special event we do, we also do a safety plan. So, just a little bit of information that what goes on behind at the recreation level to make sure that our seasonals and also the police and fire know what we're doing. And like I think it's just good information for you guys to have. And the public knows like that we're we're holding an event, we're protecting the community at the same time. And we have an emergency plan.
That's great.
Arbor Day was the only one I put on there just because it is coming up. We did talk about a little bit about Kids to Park Day at the last regular meeting, and that'll be the next one. I don't know if we really want to discuss that now, but I'll put that on the May agenda along with 4th of July again.
Okay.
Okay.
May agenda.
Yep.
That'd be great. Anybody else, anything on Arbor Day? I don't see there a problem being plugging in the Veterans Garden now if Mike's okay with that. Or do you need a few minutes?
Just a few minutes to get out in here, I think.
Okay. I think we can go on to the minor park improvement budget news.
I put in the packet just the entirety of what's in the excuse me, the posted budget. Our budget document, I just kind of snipped out the entire town's out of the entire town's document. But it's something that I would like everybody to kind of review. As discussed, we'll talk more specific or excuse me, overall budgeting. This is about specifically just the minor park improvement one. But take some time to read through, what the park fund is, responsibilities, our goals, key accomplishments, because some of those things dial directly into what we do with this group. And I would love to make that a little bit more robust. And then, when we do our annual review, we can surely key in on the things that we've done that lead to going into the budget document on a yearly basis. So as a heads up for maybe, I think we set that in August, right? That we're gonna talk about the overall budget. Read through some of this, and if you have any questions on that and kind of prep you before the meeting, just let me know. As far as the minor park improvement budget goes, it was, I believe, 2 years ago. This is the second year where PROST had, and specifically John, came to a board of trustees meeting and really asked for a more robust minor park improvement because we do have failing infrastructure and, it's crazy to say, but it was at $30,000, I think, when we did it. It might have been maybe $35,000. No, it was at 30 because our R&M is 35. That whittles away 1,000, 5,000 at a time, like, because park equipment and
2,000.
bathroom equipment and fencing and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy how quickly that goes. So with the backing of this group that was added to be more robust 2 years ago, and it's really helped. The one thing that we really haven't done though is lay out exactly where we want that money. And I was very thankful that I could present that it was like $8,600 for that new shed, which is going to be fantastic and make an impact on the mid and south side of town greatly for the parks and recreation department, specifically with soccer there. So as far as minor park goes this year, that has been taken out. And then we also did a purchase of new goals. Now that Harvest is going to be the soccer park moving forward. So we split some minor park improvement and some out of the soccer budget. And the reasoning we did that is because although programming is directly for soccer, the goal is to leave the goals up in certain areas at that park, maybe 2 or 3 different fields throughout the entirety of the year, so that the community at large can use them. So they're not just specifically for the soccer program. Yes, we did pull some of that because we needed them for this year to get them going. And we will have, I think, 2 sets that will pull down, but we are going to leave 2/3 of what we bought for that park to stay up. So that's kind of a balance. So it's a park improvement, it's a community improvement for that park to allow people in the community to just go there pretty much throughout the year. Other than that, the budget's very open. So that's where we're at now. I added the PROST priorities, something that we haven't talked about in quite a little bit. And this is typically those things that we would pull from the minor park improvement budget. Things that potentially aren't necessarily capital projects, but things that we can get accomplished throughout the year. So I'll leave it at that and kind of open it up to discussion. Any thoughts about where you guys want to go with, that bucket of money?
These are also things we should be thinking about when we're getting back to our park inspections. What you see people out there doing, what might aid to some of the recreation they're already doing. It's a neat budget to have. It really is, because there's things that we can do that are just, they're not like you said, not capital improvement. We're not dumping, $100,000 into something. We're out there looking for things that can improve the parks with this type of budget.
Yeah, and I would consider these to be anywhere in the range of, like $5,000 or $8,000 shed or $2,000 worth of goals up to maybe 10 or 15. And if we really want to have a discussion about something like we talked about last year or 2 years ago, moving into last year, is redoing the surfacing at Viewpoint. I know that kind of washed away because that quote came in basically double. Those are the things we need to figure out for capital, so that we lay that out in front of the board to let them know this is what we're doing with, a capital portion. But this money here is like what you perfectly illustrated, what you guys see in the parks, and like, hey, what could we use? What are we hearing from the community? Like, love to be able to just use this money to make things on a small to medium scale better.
Did we talk about, why do I feel like we talked about something last time that we felt like would be good for that this year? Did I make that up in my head? Would it help if I had read the previous meeting minutes to know what that was?
A lot of these projects that end up even on the priority list were things that people brought into us, so like shade structures and, you know, different things like that were items that were brought to us because they'd have recreation programs and parents would be out there with smaller kids and there's just not enough shade. And I mean, Centennial's got great trees because Centennial's our older park. But you go to community park and it's like well, everything's still growing. So we talked about shade structures and people come in and bring a lot of this to us anyways when we get people. But those are the kind of projects that are in that realm because it's going to be something that people already want and it's on wish lists already.
I remember us talking about that specifically near the baseball
Yep.
fields where everyone was sitting as spectators.
Yep.
Brian's son.
I think it became a bigger deal too when we put the tot lot up, the little playground right there by the
Oh, yeah. Okay.
baseball fields. There just wasn't enough gathering space with shade. So those are kind of some of the things that we had talked about in the past.
I know that we've talked about the pricing on that ditch. That, on the Knowles linear, the all stuff is, if that course is being built out. Is really prioritizing that crossover something that we can utilize some of this money for?
I think it
Or
could
is
be
that
looked
too big
into.
of a?
That would be a capital.
Okay.
Last year I had Nathan Ewerts, who's the Deputy Director of Public Works for streets and engineering. And he and I met kind of a fabricator, and the fact that it is in the flood way makes the engineering costs crazy. And without knowing exactly, engineering alone could be in the 80 to 90 to 120. And then the building of the bridge could equal that. I mean, that could be a $200,000 project, which is crazy to think.
Okay.
Did
we talk about park signs? Is that what we had talked about? Was that the Veterans Garden signs? Was that what we had talked about last time? It did come back to me.
I was waiting for it.
Oh, thanks.
It is in the top left of the
Oh.
the in progress.
Well,
Along with that, if I can piggyback on that real
Yeah.
quick, in that original capital project for all the park signs, just to remind everybody, at that time, Harvest Park was not ours and Sunrise Park was not ours. Those have subsequently been deeded to the town
Okay.
via development agreements. So those veteran sign and those two signs would get us to kind of what we talked about, just to bring everybody back to that conversation. And that is something that I'm gonna put you on the spot, the signs. We had a conversation about moving signs so that we can get the last ones in. The company that we use just has some storage space issues, so they can't build new signs until everything is ready. So we're gonna work to potentially help them move one of their signs out so they can start again.
Sorry, did you say that 2 parks plus veterans, that would be included in the original capital?
No,
Not.
those were not.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
those were
thank
not.
you.
All the other parks were.
Okay.
So Centennial, we're waiting until Cleveland is done. And then Winnix is the other one that still needs to go in. It was on progress to get put in this late winter, if we had one, early spring. Things changed when the public works crew went and did the alleys because they're gonna pour it, so we save money on the concrete pour. So once they're done there, we'll work with them to get that sign up, but once that sign's out, we'll put the Centennial sign, which is done in our shop. They'll have both of those out, then they can continue to make new signs. So if that's the direction we want to go with some of this money, we can get a quote and then bring it back. That's just one idea, and that is what was kind of discussed.
I think we wanna get a sign up with the Veterans Garden as soon as possible, right?
So that would be a move forward with getting estimates on what that is and then maybe presentation of what it looks like again.
Yeah,
And voting on that. Okay.
Yep.
That sounds good. Anything else to think about? So shade structures? Specifically at ball fields?
I think shade's always in
Mhm.
the.
It was, from the initial findings that everybody saw, you know, it was fairly high on the list of what people wanted as far as amenities in parks. It was very high up. There's more shade.
And bathrooms would be more, they're bigger, so that's gonna be more of a capital.
That would be a capital project because we're tapping into utilities and we're putting, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think shade structures have to be a.
Okay,
How about the bandstand? How much does that cost?
the
Bandstand,
bandstand for,
this is bandstand or?
Oh.
Sure, there's
Is
a
that
large
for,
range of what could happen there.
sure. I don't know. Depends on what we would want to look at, like a single step, like just a platform, something easily movable.
That would be cool.
Not to, you know, go off on a tangent, but Caitlin and I have talked about that, and that's something that potentially we could look into grants for, like a Bohemian grant or something like that,
Okay,
because it definitely ties into culture and events and stuff like that.
cool.
But I love that idea because we have seen, you know, more and more, like someone brought in that stage for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
And the band's load being up on that so that they can project out down.
that's cool.
Anything else?
No, anybody else got anything? I think when we're thinking of some of these projects that we know there are certain parks that need overhauls. So we know that Viewpoint is in need of some work. Centennial is going to do at some point some major rebuild that we might want to try to focus some of our attention to. Like Winnick has a great shade structure right now, but WCP doesn't have a whole lot aside from the one playground area. I mean, there's a little further to the north, but you know, things like that, and then Wellville and stuff on the east side that we kind of haven't been putting a whole lot into the east side. Maybe those are some of the parks that we look into some of these shade structures and some of the attention we're trying to give these parks. The ones that are newer that we're not breaking ground on anything major anytime soon.
Okay.
I mean, just my opinion. I'd love to hear from you guys about that, but
With shade, I would definitely say look at where the most people are and where the amenities are being used the most. So at like the community park, when we have those tournaments in the summer, looking and seeing how this past autumn, last summer coming into now is, it might be necessary to get something just there because there's a lot of kids running around all the time, coming to the older brothers games, or whether it's like a parent playing or whoever is going to be there. And then I'd say after that, absolutely hammer the places that don't have anything. Go towards that east side, fix all that up, kind of come up as like a summer sweep up type thing on the east side, and then kind of refocus it back again.
Okay.
I mean, even with
Or
moving
what?
the soccer to Harvest,
Exactly.
that's a great opportunity there.
Yeah.
So just things to keep in mind when we're moving forward on these.
I agree on the hold back a little bit on the stuff that we know
Yeah.
is due for big upgrades.
Because that might be things we could roll into a capital improvement,
Absolutely.
you know, and it's a bigger ask, but we can include those in a big project. So
I like that. Okay, so what I'm hearing as far as what we need to do and investigate, we'll look at the signs. We'll also potentially maybe get a map of where we could put some shade and get some quotes for that and represent to this group. You know, if that falls, whether a little bit falls in this budget or if it's not and it looks more like a capital project, I guess from my standpoint or our standpoint, what I'd like is the parks that you speak of, like let's just say Sunrise and Park Meadows, you know, those kind of in Wellville. If those are your parks, or everybody should go try to look at your parks and maybe come up with another list, maybe a few little things here and there also to add on to that, just so we're not in, you know, December, like we didn't kind of get everything we needed done. It's like, okay, well.
And we've unfortunately
the
done that
operating budget,
before.
we can't really roll over.
As we've gotten too late into the budgeting year and we were just left money sitting and we were like, we really want to push this out to the trustees, but they're wrapped up in budgeting at the end of the year. They're wrapped up in a whole lot of stuff. So it's really hard to present some of these projects late in the year. So,
Be good with our park visits.
Yeah.
To make sure when we're at the park visits to talk about those and have them dialed in.
okay, good ideas.
So we'll take our portion if you guys kind of do. Put your eyes on it. We'll come back. I'll put it on next month's agenda real quick and we can just touch base. I'm not saying everybody has to within a month, but if there are a couple ideas, we'll add them to the list and continue to get estimates and make sure it fits within the budget. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So. Like you'll geared up over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we'll circle back to the Veterans Garden at Wellington Community Park. These are some of the things we were working on last time we met about it. We've talked and made maybe some minor changes to it, but this was something that we kind of like the direction of. Love to get your guys' input on that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we had talked about. Did you get a lot of new stuff printed out or?
No, it's just this, it's basically the same. I mean, there's a few changes. I added the screens around the perimeter that we talked about.
Okay,
I changed the monuments. I got the details on all sides. I kind of wrapped them in steel. We had kind of talked about doing well. But not a lot of changes. The fire pit back here, man, it doesn't work. I don't know. I'm really struggling with it. So we need
Okay.
to find a better option for that.
I was gonna say, I ran by that section the other day. It's just, there's not that much room.
No.
And it goes straight back into the water.
Yeah, and I went over there and walked it too, and so I was struggling with that, trying to find a way to make that happen. Plus, it just kind of feels tucked back in here.
Can we plant trees?
So-
They, there's no issue at all.
Imagine
Imagine it's
useful. Keeps erosion from happening.
Fire.
Sorry.
There, so that you can kind
There,
of, but there's not enough.
oh yeah.
He was just asking.
Okay, sorry.
So you guys are talking about it back.
it would have been back here.
Like straight in front, like right at the base of the Colorado state flag, behind the screen that he has pulled up, but that's not gonna work.
I mean, we can make it work, it's just gonna be,
So I think that's what he put in now as an option for it to go there.
yeah,
With
just chunked
the
in
new
a
drawing?
fire pit, yeah, it could go anywhere you guys want, I just threw that in there for fun.
Also, some of the changes you're seeing from these originals to what you're looking at now is the addition of some of the extra panels around the wall or hedge.
We had talked about maybe those being focused on the different wars,
Right.
so those are represented.
So we had one of our guys write us a bunch of things about, did he send them to you? He sent them to you?
I haven't received them, not yet.
All that stuff. He did like, each branch, when it was started, how it was started. Is just a little thing, so you can put like a little plate at each flag for the.
Well, I think these individual monuments are a place we could do that. You can't tell because it's kind of in. I have to keep it light so I can render it around and move it here. But this is concrete back here, the gray, then this is just like a Corten metal that we've bent and kind of wrapped around that. We can punch whatever you want through this, like have it
Yeah.
water jetted in.
He actually did quite a bit of research on it,
Yeah,
other than Space Force.
Great.
yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
Just kidding.
That's all right.
Every time.
But he did a small, just a snippet of, when it was started and then like a couple of significant wars.
Yeah,
And then, that's what we were planning on putting on, or, having that put on there. So,
Great.
I'll get that back. He sent it to me. I'll send it, resend it to you.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I sent it to you, but no.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah,
I know it was like a year ago.
Yeah. I could probably look it up.
Yeah,
So we could do the details and then we could do, you know, there was talk of like memorials for different people that have served for per branch. I mean, you could do plates on this, you know, you could tap it and put a plate with someone's name on it. You know, I don't know if you sell that as a fundraiser or what that looks like, but we could add anything to these plates if you guys are into it. I
right.
thought on these leading edges, I could put the branch like vertically in there, like Air Force, Navy, you know, whatever you want to do there.
Yeah.
And then we talked about backlighting these too,
Yep.
if the budget allows. And I can get that all rendered out, but until we're kind of settled on what that's gonna look like.
So we have a guy that's gonna build us a fire pit.
You do?
Yeah,
Perfect.
Is it above ground?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It'd just need to be like bolted into the ground or whatever, or anchored in. But, yeah, he's gonna,
Just,
knows whatever we need. He's gonna build.
just,
Takes concrete pad and stuff in just so it can't be.
but for knowledge sake, how is it covered?
It need to be
He can
sealed.
put a cover on it.
Okay,
A lock.
and locked and down and
Yeah.
everything, okay.
Yeah, so he'll build us whatever, he said he'll build us whatever we need. So, we were thinking about like maybe in the center of the grass
Yeah. We can put it wherever.
and then maybe just have a pathway go right to it from the main walk right there, maybe.
Coming out of here, like
Yeah,
out of right here
yeah,
and heading back. Yeah, we can do that.
and then he'll, you know, like I said, he'll build us whatever we want. And then we could set that in there and we put all the branches on there and stuff and it'll look real nice. We can lock it up so it doesn't. And then it's away from everything. It's not pushed into the back. So it's kind of a big thing to do that ceremony.
Mhm.
So,
That's kind of what I figured.
yeah, like right in there.
Yeah, okay. It's picking it up off. Okay.
He can do one, he can, I'm assuming he can do one that
Everyone left.
shape with the way the park's set, so it'd be maybe round in the back or, you know.
Yeah.
but it'll look a little bit better
It fits
set in
in,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you think it needs a walkway to it?
I would say put a little walkway to it, just for people to walk to there to put the flags in. I mean,
Okay.
it's not,
And then like a sidewalk around it, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I guess we would just need to know the dimension, and then I'll build the pad in there, round, square, whatever you guys want, and then I'll build the path back to the sidewalk here.
right,
But I think that's smart. I don't know. We were talking about putting it back here and having these panels move out of the way,
Yeah.
but it's still congested if you have more than a handful of people.
Right.
I don't know that they could
but it's
really.
kind of nice doing it right there too, cause you've got the flag right next to it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you know, the ceremony kind of ties in right there.
Yeah.
So,
So I have a question then, for symmetry's sake,
Mhm.
do
You
we?
put it on the other side.
Well,
My brain.
Okay. I'm
No,
not-
I was thinking that too.
OCD,
I'm OCD bad, I was thinking that too.
well, you know, we talked about using the plaques almost, you know, putting people's names on those that have served for each branch. But I'm wondering if that's, you know, you wanna leave enough room that that can kind of grow, so do you put some sort of memorial?
So what if you put on the other side, you put, say, like a rocked square, like a Rubik's cube, and then you could put the names of all of our veterans on that.
So I'm wondering about having something that. you
Ability
can
for
fit-
expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just
Yeah.
put some kind of a square thing on there and each one will have each branch for it. And then you can put the veterans' names on that, then you don't have to put them on those. And that gives them their own little area and it
Fixes
it
this symmetry
fixes the
problem.
symmetry problem.
I see the vision.
Is there any other like type of ceremonies that might occur here? Would you cater to any other kind of? Kind of like,
Don't really, I
no,
mean. Yeah. Just the flag burning is, I mean. Is the big thing that we do.
or like a
I
statue?
can't
maybe?
imagine that we would. Out there do a rope or anything out there like that. It's too much.
Just thinking if it was like the ceremony and then other ceremonies may occur on that side, but a statue could be cool too, something like art in the park kind of thing. I don't know,
You
but
can even do a statue of dogs that can dedicate to the dogs that follow.
That
Oh,
is sweet.
Wow,
I love that.
yeah.
Can I ask the requirements for someone's name being like people that are from Wellington that have died in war, or people that live in Wellington or have passed that didn't die in war? Like, what do you guys think about? How do you
So
put people's names?
our first thought was just the people who are from Wellington that have passed in war.
Okay,
But if you move here, you spent your, your life here, or some of your, most of your life here, and this was like your final resting place.
Even if
and
you're in
a
the Space
veteran.
Force, like,
Huh?
does that still count?
No,
That doesn't make, what about Air Force and a space mission?
well, that's what they are. I mean, we're pushing it. We're just letting the Air Force in. Yeah, no, no space. I mean, I know you have to have it to make the flags, but we have small ones you can put up there.
Yeah.
Don't take it. There's no veterans from space. They haven't been around long enough.
Right.
Veteran.
well,
Sure.
so I'm thinking on the vertical memorials, that could be people who died in wars.
On
And
each
then
branch they
on each
serve.
branch, yeah, something like that.
That's fine too, Like
Yeah.
I said, on one side you can put the stuff that we put on, and then on the other side, you can do the veterans.
Yeah, and then other memorial could be people who've lived here that served. I don't know, is that a thing?
Well, I mean, most of it is the ones that have passed.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
During the war,
Well,
during the war.
even if they came, no, if they're a veteran and they came back and died here, then they're still our veterans. They're
Okay.
still gonna go there. It's to recognize the people that,
Yeah.
served and made this their home at one point.
Mm.
Now, 20 new people at the cemetery that, I think 15 of them are veterans that haven't been recognized, so we have to change that.
Yeah.
That's our big thing for this, is to change that. Make sure that we all get recognized, the veterans get
Mhm.
recognized.
From how far back?
War's war.
Yeah.
Started, you were standing next to Jesus and
Sure.
lived in Wellington, then go ahead and put your name on there.
Do we think that the back of those plaques are gonna be big enough then for something like that?
Wellington, they have a lot. I mean, you're gonna need space for us when it's our turn. So just make sure we have a dog. You can put me next to the dog if you want. But eventually, as people go, you just add the names to it. So the names will have to be huge.
Yeah.
Height,
Right.
it's like.
Yeah.
And if you spread it out between all the services, you're not gonna load everybody up.
Right.
Right.
Weirdly enough, we have a lot of Navy people here.
It is weird.
We
Weird for
got as
everybody.
far away from the water as we could.
Yeah.
apparently.
So would your preference be then to have the names on the plaques for the branches they served, or yes? Okay. I love the idea
That
of
way
the
the
dog statue then.
People could go to that flag, and know, okay, my uncle served in the army, I'll go to the army.
Right,
See it there,
yeah,
Okay,
instead of having to search.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And then the dog thing would be really cool.
That
I
is,
think so.
that like, yeah, that makes me feel tingly.
Mhm.
the boots too.
And where I'm first thought, the dog is just as good as.
You can put the boots with the dog. Dog can be laying on the boots. You can change, you can get an artist to fix that up.
Mhm.
I think that would be pretty neat. But.
I do like the idea of having something that's unique, that is artist based, that is a tweak of something that's already a tradition
Yeah,
that fits in real well.
and it's ours. We're
Yeah.
not copying
Exactly.
everybody across the nation.
Yeah. And I think I can speak for this board and say that we are really appreciative of your guys' involvement, and it means a lot to us.
Like this, but so,
Yeah.
like I said, 4 or 5 years ago, when you first announced it, that was pretty fired up about it.
We're gonna get done.
Yep.
It takes one.
That's it.
Get them a finalized plan also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
helps a lot.
That's tonight, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, when I saw these first ones, I already knew we were in the right direction here.
Yeah, so that was good.
I like some of the adjustments here. I like the involvement, like I said, with you guys and moving the pit, having symmetry and adding something to the other side.
Really glad you guys went with the living wall as opposed to the wall.
Well, you guys brought that to us,
Yeah.
so we're thankful for
That
that.
changed
That,
the whole, that
Yeah.
was such a sticking point and that kind of like.
Giant cost.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that pushed us into this and this is stunning.
yeah.
Just
So much
just
more
build
welcoming.
Wellington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The one thing that I will always keep bringing up though is we have discussed putting cherry trees there because cherry trees are significant to Wellington. They used to be on Cleveland. They're just not good trees to put in the renovation of Cleveland. So we did talk about putting them here since it's beautiful color, remembrance of the time in Wellington and all the people that have passed serving. So where are we looking at in here? I'm not saying we have to, but it's definitely been brought up multiple times that it would be great to have some. If we're doing symmetrical things in the turf, it might get a little bit clustered. The space isn't huge, right? We know it's not a massive space. So we still want to be able to move around it and about it. My thought, like you could do a layer of cherry trees behind the hedges. And then do, kind of more sparse, bigger trees like Mike has them here. Throughout there to give it a hedge layer, a median cherry layer, and after they grow, a bigger background over time. Just one thought. The other thing is just like maybe on the ends, we do like outside of the area specifically, we could do 3 or 4 on each side that just kind of bring you in as you're coming from the sides. So I think it would be too clustered to do it in the turf at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So those are just a couple of my thoughts about how to incorporate those.
I do like the idea behind the hedge though, because we already know what the backdrop is, and if we added that layer, we're keeping it more of like you're in the Veterans Gardens. You're not looking out at West First Street and Advanced Tank and all that. You're seeing the Veterans Gardens.
Yeah.
And that's also something we talked about before is when we decided this isn't just a memorial, this is a garden, that we were going to add things to it and have more foliage and different things going because it is like a living remembrance. So I like the idea of behind the hedge a lot.
Could you do both the clusters on the outside to draw people in
Oh, yeah.
behind the
Oh, yeah.
hedges? I just think ornamental trees in general, like that bloom in the very beginning, the spring
Yeah.
snow crabapple are beautiful too. So
Yep.
you could intersperse some of those.
You get white and red.
Yeah.
We have a plum in our backyard.
Oh, they're so beautiful right now. I mean, there's nothing to knock down, right? There's no freeze or anything, so they're just gonna be in bloom much longer. So I think it would, especially if we talked about the entrance there being potentially roses, right?
More trees you have, the more donation potential you have too. People love to donate or people love to sponsor trees. So if there's a ton of trees.
Especially if you push the fact that trees lower the temperature. I mean, we're already putting concrete on and
Oh,
escaping
yeah.
yard, so the temperature's going up.
Yeah.
So
Good point.
trees bring that temperature back down, so it kind of levels off. So if you play off that, you might get a few more donations out of it.
Yeah.
Just some research I did on xeriscaping. It
Nice.
raises the temperature of everything, so
Right.
that's why Vegas is so hot, because they're all xeriscape. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be in
Yeah, that's why it's nice to have a little bit of turf in there too, that cools it.
I know we talked about it last time, but on this side of that sidewalk, it drops right away, or can we do trees on that side too?
Down here.
Yeah.
Not on the north portion. On the south portion around the dog park, we potentially could. I will say that the
there's a light
irrigation's
pole
not
right there too.
phenomenal over there.
You
I
put
don't know that
trees
you
in
wanna
the front of
block
it,
it.
though, you're gonna block.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
block the
agree.
view.
There's also a light pole right on this corner. On
You
the
could put
south-
like some
south corner.
low lying bushes or something.
I was gonna say this side right here is the fence. for the dog park. And then the other, this part is the retention pond, and there's already trees lining this part.
I think behind the hedges.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Is that black flag the Space Force?
Yeah.
It's the pirates.
So new, I can't even find a logo.
Good job. We can go with the pirate flag.
Space pirates.
Space pirates.
My goodness.
I don't know if you guys can see did you put some pictures in for those metal?
Oh, I copied them. Yeah, it's the same as just the paratroopers coming.
Okay, there was
Yeah.
one that had like, I thought I
Mhm.
saw Afghanistan on it.
Oh, I did throw something in there I was playing with. I start with that black and white image and then I cut it into the metal. So I was just playing with different ideas. So whatever you guys want to see here, I can put whatever.
So one of the ideas was trying to find an image that kind of represented a specific war. If you wanted those, and then I don't know if there are images you have in mind, but something we can put on each of those. Or if you just don't want it to represent specific wars at all, or just images. There are. I don't know what bar, how many
You got 4 in the main.
big middle one.
Yeah, and this Pac-Man can be whatever. I just picked paratroopers. It can be whatever. I saw a cool one online that I liked. I was trying to kind of emulate that. This didn't exactly hit the mark.
It might be a little difficult to get every memorable war there and then think about future wars too. I think
Yeah.
sticking with one theme for those, since we are
I think we're.
potentially, you know, like every branch is gonna have their involvement in specific wars on one side and then the fallen on the other. Just,
No, I think that's a good idea. Do you just have the same image on every single one then?
I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't.
We could potentially like build a landscape that goes out, like looks good on the inside, and we've already got the rest of them predetermined, so it's like one fluid photo, and every time you install one, it doesn't look
I don't think
black.
how we could tell a story through there, but
That too. Yeah.
it could be anything. Or we don't even have to have them. Like we just plugged them in there as an option.
I think they're amazing.
I love them.
I think they're
It
sweet.
is fine with the, not gonna put the Missouri on there, then go ahead with paratroopers.
Yeah.
If it's garden theme, it could be like poppies or something else. Yeah, plant themed. I can't think of any, that was the extent of my plan. Whatever, but I was thinking of, something somehow making it gardens.
Well, what do you guys think? Do you think it should be more military representation on those panels or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really like the landscape. Like if you started at one side and it was, imagine it like from the west coast and then towards the center. So you have like all the people who served out in San Diego and are out there. And then you move it in and it like progresses to the different branches. So you have the Army and the Air Force guys in the center. They're kind of in the mountains and it's like helicopters flying over. So it like transitions across the country and each panel is a different.
You're asking people to do.
I know.
Yes.
Lot of
Very-
Too much.
I mean,
When you look at it, you don't, and most people, I wouldn't say a lot of people are gonna start over here and follow the trail, they're just gonna come up and see it, so if you've got the same panel. Just kind of represent the military, then that'd be fun.
I mean, is there any thought to like some of the like larger moments in wars that
On the
like,
images, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like
That's. You got it.
I mean. It's all morbid, at least the paratroopers coming in, there's nothing morbid, I mean, you could put,
I'm thinking like
Someone
Iwo
gets-
Jima and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you big mushroom cloud.
No,
Like the flag.
like the setting the flag up though,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah,
It's part of, like, if we're talking education piece too.
I mean, I would put the raising the flag at Iwo Jima in the middle.
in the
Right,
middle.
yeah.
In the biggest piece, I think that would be the biggest piece I would do, that. And then you can do like Joe said and build out from that, so you can go this way to the earlier wars and this way to the later wars.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Start with good old George crossing the river.
I mean, if you want it to be educational, then yeah, you have to put different panels in there. just to help.
But we only begin with 5 panels, like you said, or 4 panels, whatever it is, it's kind of hard to do every board, like.
Right.
So you gotta pick out, you know, the most important, obviously, 2 with the Adjourn and all that. Start there. Then what did you do, Desert Storm or Korea? Storm was a big one. One we got pulled into at the end of it. We weren't always in now. So it's just, you have to figure out.
I think we also do need to remember though that we are piecing this together and we're not budgeted. We don't have anything that we need to be committed right now. So, I mean, I love the idea of Iwo Jima being in the middle and then,
That'd be the first.
yeah, and then we can start figuring out, you know, okay, well, where do we want to look going back? Like you were saying, and work backwards this way and then work forwards this way and figuring out some ideas for those panels moving forward.
Yeah.
But I like the
You
idea
have
of
2 on
that.
each side, right?
Yes.
On the big one. Yeah, so, I mean, you could do Civil War maybe, something on the Civil War. For the side and then on the side Storm and then something between
Right.
What about a picture from 9/11 of when they have the
towers.
beam? Yeah, you could do the towers. Did you just Google iconic war photos? Because that's what I did in our last meeting too.
I think you could find,
I just think starting off with the imaging one and be. And then
It's like this picture.
you guys can come together and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can come together and find something we can do for each panel when you guys are ready to do those panels.
Yeah.
I mean, the paratroopers is pretty awesome too.
It could be, how many panels are there total?
Oh, there's these 3 in the middle and then 4 others, so 7 total. This big one's kind of 1 panel technically.
Yeah, I mean, they could be like something memorable too for each branch, right? Like a
Yeah,
plane
do
on
that.
one, a ship, an
Yeah.
ocean on another, like, you know,
I-
a spaceship on another. No.
Space Invaders. Yeah, I mean, if those panels are behind the flag, you can do that too, is whatever was like at the top of the list with that branch at that time.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing too.
I assume this would be a commission artist or something to decide the final.
We go CSU and go to art school and get some guys that are just wanting to do that stuff.
Or resume.
Or resume.
Stats are for sure the foundry on that. I have friends that can do that. They're Space Force, actually they're Air Force, but they would probably volunteer some time for that. The panels, if we can come up with some cool designs that you guys like, we can just mock them up. And then that's easy to cut out, right? We just take it over to anybody and they can just waterjet it out. However we want to do it.
Doesn't Kaler do that?
Kaler has some toys. I don't know if he has toys that big. He might. I know Jim Jackson in town does. And
Yeah.
Nicholas has a big. His is plasma. Sure, we can find something.
Well, I think the guy who's gonna build like, I think he can do it too.
Sure, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty good size. Like these aren't small. The big one's like 8 or 10 feet wide. Yeah, 8 feet wide. Pretty good size panel.
Yeah. I think the most memorable one that people remember is the flag. I think I would put that one on that. For sure.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I like think of memorable war photos. Yeah,
if anything, like, you know, that'd be a cool one.
yeah, like that'd be an army.
That'd be a cool one.
Mhm.
Anybody else? More info on Veterans Garden?
There will be
Any
a
questions?
satellite. There will be a satellite in one of these panels. I'm gonna sneak it in.
I was just thinking that.
The Air
We're
Force
gonna
one, though,
put
where
it
they're
in.
shooting down the side.
I have
It's gonna be a satellite up
where
there.
you can do one of the panels, you can do the surrender plaque from the Japanese surrender to.
Hmm.
The ship was that one? I guess. Some of the, some little boat.
I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
Super cool.
I'm excited we have direction. We've got something we all can agree that we like the way it looks and it's laid out. And with your guys' input and everything, we think we're moving in the right direction now. We just need to find some money.
And I would definitely give money if I saw this. I'd be like, yeah.
So are you guys still gonna like sell the benches and do the thing for the
Yeah.
benches? and-
We're
Try-
already set up for that.
Take it out.
We could take donations, but we don't have like, do we have tiers completely set up already?
No.
We need tiers.
We needed to finalize this plan so we could price out which pieces are going first. Was essentially what we needed to finalize, and I think we decided, we talked about phases last time
Yeah.
in our notes. One of the things that we wanna do, and I don't know, Mike, do you still have the image of the sign?
Oh, it's the fence up?
Yeah. One of the first things we wanna try and do is put up a thing. Pour cement, pour a pad and put up the sign for the park. And then I think,
We want to let people know what's going there and then hopefully raise more interest. Yeah, and once we get an idea of some of these tiers, we can actually get out and start talking to people, because I know a few that would probably donate for a few things, you know, a bench or a flagpole or one of the monuments or,
Trees.
yeah,
One
and then
of
the.
guys already said you buy the
Army bench, yep.
bench.
And we talked about phasing, so what we had, I think, on the first phase was conduits and irrigation and all the infrastructure to get in. And then we know that as soon as the flags go up, we gotta have to have all the lighting up. We talked originally about possibly not doing the concrete right away, but now we're kind of aiming towards doing it right off the bat. Especially, Mike, you were saying it wasn't. Okay, so we had sign marketing, utilities, grass, concrete flag lights, benches, panels, landscape, amenity, hardscapes, and then panels behind the hedges, the actual ones. So then we just need to figure out how much we're asking for people and for what.
Yeah, when you guys get that tier set up, get it to us and we can get it
Yeah.
out to our posts.
And I've got somebody for the marine bench already, so we've got 2 benches
We
figured out.
kinda got 3, but we got maybe people.
Okay, okay.
And kind of like what these guys were saying too, now that we have a finalized product to
Yep.
bring to market, and just like the other thing, now. If I saw this, I would donate.
Mhm.
Now that we have this fully built, I think all the steps that, you know, we put into play for the
Yeah.
past
well, knowing that
5 years or however long it took to get to now, it's here.
and
Yeah.
knowing the cost of each
Yeah.
phase is gonna be a really important piece. So I think that was what we wanted to do, was kind of final, with your guys' input, finalize majority of the design tonight. I would like to see us roll out fundraising around Veterans Day. I wanna give us plenty of time to get all of our ducks in a row and get tiers built out and have an idea of what the costs are gonna be, and then roll it out by Veterans Day.
And we did get a little bit of money from our silent auction last time. And I am willing to go out and try to get some more things donated if we want to try to do that again. Yours raised the most money, your flag.
Reds, flag.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
brought that to us.
Oh, yeah, but yeah.
So if,
The thing was sick.
yeah, I wanted it.
That's so cool.
We had a small one with a few things that
They
we
hosted
donated.
it for us.
Yeah, from the golf course.
Various businesses.
Yeah, just a lot of different little places that gave us a few things.
Donation based.
Yeah,
It was 4th of July.
Okay.
yeah.
2
Two
years.
years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And a lot of those are easy to get.
Was it?
If you just go out and you talk to a few places, they're dropping gift cards, they're doing small things at least.
We build out fundraising tiers, that will be the initial, as soon as people know what they're gonna get from that, that's when the money starts to flow. We just
Yeah.
have to have it laid out.
And
you
it has to
know.
be a fill in the blank thing, so it's like bench, 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 and they put their name on a bench, like that's what really encourages it. Because then they're like, this
I
is,
know some of the other parks too, they also.
Mm.
Mhm.
You get your name on a break and. Somewhere into the park.
yeah.
To the park. I don't know if you guys want to go that far, but.
I want to go as far as we can.
Well, they
It's always
talked
an
about
auction
this
to raise money.
concrete stamping, right?
Yeah, I brought the one from Windsor Park that I really like those a lot.
Those are the ones under the benches,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So around Windsor Lake, they've got quite a few of them and things that were donated. So I took a picture and I'm just really big about these. I think they look amazing. And they're just built right in. Yeah. So things like that, you can donate a bench, you're gonna pay a little more than what a bench costs, but you're gonna get something for it too, and I like that idea, and I agree, once we have tiers and we have an idea of what everything's costing, it's gonna be a whole lot easier to roll this out. And like you said, we have a sheet, we need all the branches, the benches, the flagpoles, and sign up sheet,
That causes people to say, oh, I need to get that before anybody else.
Before-
That's
yeah.
what
Yeah.
really kicks
Yep.
off the quicker start to a
Yep.
campaign, so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the goal would be to do like a kickoff party, essentially, where we have everything, renderings laid out, and we know exactly what the tiers are and how much we need to
Yep.
raise for the first phase, and that would be the goal.
and then we market it
Yeah.
hard.
Yes.
And we get it out to everybody. That way we have a big event where people are coming. We have the sheet. We have everybody signing up to do things.
And
Cause I agree.
First opportunity to get to the dedications.
Once
that's-
you start seeing everything coming off the list and you're like, well, I really wanted to do that. Well, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
What can I get on that?
Like your Veterans Day packets.
Right.
I like it though.
You could ask for like a donation per mile. Ideal. For anyone who wants to do it,
Sign
that
up.
section of it.
So I think what we're looking at for next steps is finding some pricing on our phases. And then that way we can start a little request list here, and maybe even using some, what we might already have in budget to get things rolling, the sign.
I don't wanna volunteer anyone, but,
No, do.
But you're gonna do
Yeah,
it.
please.
but I'm gonna, no,
You're the
and,
mayor,
and
you can do it.
I wanna give an example of like exactly what the packet that we need to have put together. Megan Larson put together a packet for the Children's Museum. Where it was like multiple pages and it had pictures or images of each specific item. And it was a fundraising thing and showed the dedications and those kind of things. A packet like that is so professional and put together and is just so organized in a way. I find it exactly a person for each feature. And then it highlights each feature in such a way that it like makes it a very important and, contribution. So I could show you her packet, which is amazing. So something similar to that concept. And then,
I've already
Again,
talked with her
yeah.
about doing it.
and then another person to just consider getting on the team because she's so amazing in every way. So.
She told us last year when I approached her about it, that she would be more than happy to do stuff like that.
So it'd be like the Children's Museum packet.
And they
is-
can pull this up. I
Yeah,
mean, she did all the tiers for Brewfest, she did all the,
Yeah.
I mean, she's done all of that already. That's something that's built, and I'd love to see the packet for the children's.
Oh, it's
museum, 'cause
beautiful.
Well, sounds a lot like this.
Yeah.
In that regard, but that would be who I'd wanna wrap in as soon as we know what things are gonna cost us, is get her to.
Yeah.
And mix a veteran, so she's more than happy to.
yeah.
So,
I'm volunteering.
so when you guys get the pricing of stuff, are you just gonna like do a page of, okay, flagpoles, this much, donate for this much, you're gonna make like a sheet like that, is that what you're saying?
I think along the lines, of something like that, yeah. So
People can, they want to
Yeah.
purchase it or donate into that.
I think there's also gonna be another, like you were saying about the trees, is like, we're planning on having like flowers where there would maybe be like an annual sponsorship where you're paying a portion of the maintenance.
Mhm.
And I think that would go a long way because it's gonna take maintenance and it's gonna take town staff to do. But if we can help ahead of time, provide for that funding to continue into the future, then we ensure that this isn't gonna ever get, messed up, and it's not gonna be downgraded from when we first build it. It's only gonna get better. But like sponsorships for things like that, tree maintenance or, annual flowers, whatever. I think that there's part of that would be involved too.
Yeah. the
But-
annual flower.
Yeah, but the initial like hard structure, I think, is gonna be like a solid donation for an item. Or like a gathering of a group that would do one item, Yeah,
I don't know, or we could just say, if you wanna donate just an allotment of money.
Right.
And we also did talk about at some point. If they do have, we have tiers like $1,000 donors, 5,000, 10,000 plus,
On the back
you
of the
know, whatever
sign,
it looks like.
back of the sign for the Veterans Garden is like, you know, this tier, this tier, this tier, and that lives on it forever. You see those in buildings and stuff, so
Absolutely.
that'd be great. Yeah. Oh, and then those packets get corporate sponsors, so
Yeah.
that's the other wonderful thing about those, is those get the big boys come out.
And if we were ever to swing like again for that T-Mobile grant or something, the more
Okay.
information we have, the more presentable it is with the idea.
Yeah.
Well, they're liable to loosen up a little bit. Because somebody's already sponsored.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sponsor.
So.
No, I like the direction. I don't know, do we,
We like the direction.
well, we want to make sure you guys come back and we'll definitely send invites anytime that we have this on our agenda, because I think that your guys' input has been probably the most valuable tool that we've had since we've even talked about this. Because you guys did bring the living wall, and knowing that we're going in a direction that is acceptable is kind of a weight off of us in a way, because I don't like sitting here making decisions because I wasn't a veteran. I'm not a veteran. I do know a lot, but I don't know what it means to a veteran, you know, and we like the input that you guys bring on it.
We do like the fact that it's a veterans garden as
Yeah.
opposed to a veterans.
Memorial. Yeah,
It just seems like it helps carry it.
yeah,
Doesn't finalize, it's a memorial.
Yeah.
It's just so finalized.
Mhm.
yeah.
Our garden is, you know, still know it's a memorial.
Yeah.
but It's something that's still living.
Living. Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
So now, who works on pricing to get moving forward? How can we?
Once we get the final design, Mike and I'll kind of talk through some of that.
Yeah.
Set up a meeting with him.
I think when we do get some idea on pricing, maybe we do have another work session. A good idea to maybe sit down in a not agended, and we only work on the one item. Get some of this tier thing going. Some donation ideas, work on maybe talking to some more people in between now and then. Although I'm not successful yet far, I am in hopes of talking to a few more people before our next meeting. So I'm got a few people that I maybe have a little more faith in now, so we'll see how that goes. But mine would be more entry level, beginning stuff, conduits, and maybe some of the help in either materials or labor. So
Is it gonna be an option? Volunteer? Yeah,
Let's see what not.
okay. I don't know, I know some of the park stuff, they can, sometimes they can, I just wasn't sure.
I don't think, I mean, we'll want an electrician to pull. But like if we're trenching for conduit and irrigation and stuff, great, yeah. They just gotta fill out a volunteer waiver and all they can use is hand tools, but yeah, why not?
I think some of it kind of goes back to some of our previous community builds though, where if we had somebody that had knowledge of it and guidance for the volunteers, it would probably work out a lot better. And that might be a good idea, because I think we could probably pull quite a few people from the community for a volunteer community build on some of this.
The top out was fun.
Yeah.
Plus he gets them involved. Always a good thing.
I like it. Anybody else?
This looks great. Mike, thank you.
Guys,
for
anything
doing
final?
that.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for coming.
Definitely like that. And as soon as we can get stuff rolling, we'll get the dimensions for the burn pit and all that stuff. Get it back to you guys.
Yeah.
Once you get everything else, pricing and everything set up.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that.
I think we'll come to you guys first when we have the tiers and everything. Being that you are more involved with the veterans in town than we are. That way, if somebody wants to get it rolling and they want to make sure that they get their name on something, or they want to make sure that they were the first person to sign up for something, you guys get the opportunity first. And then we'll roll it out from there.
Maybe we can work on organizing a kickoff party jointly with you guys.
Big barbecue.
Once you get us some numbers too, we can start looking for fundraisers.
Awesome.
Or to us, chili cook-offs. things like that.
I've been to a few of them. When you had him at the the Legion, who was it that was helping? Oh, Adam, DeCavis would come.
Oh, yeah,
You remember Adam?
that was a good, that was.
And
a
they
good
did the
chili.
cornhole tournaments and everything.
I
But the,
judged that one.
he always brought in the wise guys, the car club, and they would just outbid everybody on all the items that were in there. Because they
Let's
would,
invite them.
yeah, they'd bring something and then it would be like $200, and Adam would just round up all the guys. And he'd go back inside and bid on something. It'd be like $1,000 by the time it left. It was like, geez. But yeah, been to some good ones. So
Yeah, let's do it.
yeah, we got to get some numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else?
No one does.
Thank you.
Just screaming for food. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Okay, I'll get my agenda back up here again. Okay. So we can move on to a future meeting calendar.
Once we get control back.
Can I just ask a question quickly? Can the minor park improvement, can any of that funding go towards this?
Potentially.
You're indeed improving the park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, that's what our budgeting sessions later this year will be about, like, maybe when we get the numbers and we see what it is and we have people that are willing to donate, we also say, well, we'll take X amount out of the general fund specifically for this project, or for the capital project. All that stuff we have to talk about and I present.
Well, also, which was mentioned to us before, Rebecca was saying that the trustees have a certain amount of money. And that, so if we find enough donations and we ask for maybe a little piece of what they have at their discretionary fund as like a match, maybe we get a little extra push towards it. So,
Especially if we're phasing, you know?
yeah.
Okay, future meeting calendar. So May. We'll talk, Legion won't be on there anymore since they did come tonight, unless we get to that point. I doubt we will for the May meeting. We'll see. I've got to move, let's see. Oh,
Brittany, you said?
we gotta move Brittany over, yep, so we'll move Brittany over. Oh, we will have the draft master plan, so we'll need to go through that, so that'll probably be the majority of that. Okay, talking to Brittany, she'll talk transportation master plan, then we'll just talk draft plan, anything we need to bring up quickly with any events, but that'll basically be the agenda, since the master plan will be an encompassing one.
And then I think if you have any updates in regards to pricing in the May meeting, we can possibly set a June special meeting. Because I do want to keep momentum moving.
Thank you.
So if you have anything by then, we could definitely set a meeting. right there.
Yep, I think in the last 2 years, we've done
Thank you.
a special meeting specifically to talk 4th of July.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Good.
Good?
Yeah, it went well.
Oh, good.
Good.
Okay.
Tell her, mister. What else? Yeah, okay,
Okay.
that sounds good. So I'll keep it pretty light in May with one large item.
Okay.
One 3-hour topic.
Very large.
I will get that out to everybody the second I get it for review, because it's gonna take a while to review, and we're gonna wanna edit and ask for revisions and all the fun things. Okay. Do you wanna look out any further, or just can kind of consider that special June, and then June 10th, we'll dial in 4th of July stuff and probably revisit this, maybe invite the Legion back. That probably will be June. Hopefully we can get to that point.
Yeah, if we wanna roll it out by Veterans Day, we need to have pricing.
Yeah, I will say some of this might have to go hard in July, but depending on how the master plan rolls out, that
Yeah.
for immediacy, that's gonna take precedence over the next 2 meetings if we need to 'cause we want that dialed in.
Yeah. Yeah, please, before budget season.
Yeah, well, it's on the, I gotta look again, but it's on the Board of Trustees meetings for the presentation of the draft, which will be after we review it and make edits, so it'll be a draft, edited draft.
Second draft.
And then, yes, and then up for adoption. What did I say? It's June.
And
I can't remember.
Or June. Will that be the 15th? I have it's on there. I can bring it up if everybody wants to know. Give me just a sec.
Ninth.
It might be the 9th.
the end of June as well.
Right here. I have it right here.
June 10th. Is that what you're talking about for our?
The trustee meeting.
Oh,
So the 10th will be ours. The 12th is where we have it to present to the Board of Trustees, just the draft. And then
May 12th.
May 12th. And then hold right now for the June 9th for the adoption. If we don't go then, it will have to be July 14th because June 16th is a work session and June 23rd is CML conference. So most likely it will be canceled. And it will be because of new trustees and mayor and everything. So everybody's gonna want to go
Yeah,
to
we'll
that.
be gone.
Cool.
Everybody will be gone.
So it's either June 9th or July 14th. I would like to get it June 9th. But I also don't, it's a massive project, so I don't want to rush it. If we get to that point, we have to pull it, then we have to pull it. Okay.
I will not be here for the July meeting.
Okay.
PROST, or the PROST meeting on that.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
What is our role in the draft of the master plan and the June 9th adoption? What is PROST board role?
At those meetings,
Yeah,
we can talk about, we can discuss that on the 10th. I'll send the draft out. Most likely it'll be myself and Jason presenting to the Board of Trustees.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be
I would plan on
the
being
group.
there.
Yeah,
If you
definitely
want
be
to
there.
schedule it.
But, might have, it's not like we're all gonna take turns standing up there and presenting on it,
Right.
but it might be worth representation from
You
somebody
think it's June 9th?
for final. Yeah, for adoption.
It doesn't hurt to have somebody from the board there. And then you don't have to dive into any details. You can just talk about how that makes you warm and tingly inside that we're doing it. I mean, it really doesn't have to be much. I think a lot of times, by the time we get to that point, the trustees have read through the packets and they've made a pretty good assessment of where we're at. And honestly, Parks has done really well in the last few years of presenting to the trustees and some of our asks. I'll say that when we talked about the property on Cleveland, I probably didn't even need to be there. They had already made up their mind. They were going to buy it. So, which was great.
Great to be there though.
But it's interesting to see the process too, and to see the discussion items when they do decide to maybe, especially in the master plan, they might start picking things out and really wanting to go over and ask questions. And it's great that staff's there to answer a lot of this stuff, but it's really nice when you've got people that have been on the board for a long time and they've got the history of 5-6 years ago on some of the reasons why these things are coming up, and that it's been in our peripheral at least, or what we've been thinking about for the last few years. So if you ever get a chance, yeah, they're good to go to.
Probably can be there
Okay.
on the night.
I try to make as many as I can, so
Yeah.
I'll be there anytime the master plan comes up though, because I did sit there and almost beg for it. So
Bang the table for it, that's for sure.
yeah.
For the podium.
So
that's great.
Don't hit that podium.
I mean,
vertical, Paul.
Even just standing out there and being like, we've spent so much time on this, and then this is what we're bringing forward.
Yeah.
Like that alone, that statement is compelling.
This is
so.
years of collaboration.
Yeah,
and plus it's nice when we have a newer board and we make our presence known, because then they start meeting us.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then when we do our presentations to the board, they already have an idea of who we are. So
Great, thank
Okay.
you.
we're at Park Tour, Library Park.
Sorry, did we want to set the special meeting date, June 5th? is a Friday, so that may have been a fair.
That was probably a carryover sign.
Um,
I think when
Not
we're,
yet.
Did it last? Anyways, go ahead.
yeah, we would have, yeah. I think we're waiting, I mean, if we're talking about the Veterans Garden, I think I'd really like to get some numbers first, because although I want to keep pushing on this, and I'm glad we're not putting too much stuff on the calendar moving forward, because I would like to talk about this more often. I don't think we can make a whole lot of progress without having some dollar amounts. I think that's our next biggest push is figuring out each phase cost.
The other
Is that
thing
something
is,
we're planning on doing at the special meeting? Or
Is if we
before,
had
like,
some numbers, then we could set up the special meeting to kind of figure out how we would roll that out.
Is there any reason, Billy, that you think we can't have, like, I feel like we could still pick a date in June just so that we all know, and then that just gives us a date to work
yeah,
for the numbers.
I would say that, or just for for sanity's sake, having 3 months in a row with multiple meetings, and also presenting to the Board of Trustees, and then potentially doing it like a week or two before the 4th of July. We could just set aside, because our July meeting is right after the 4th of July, just say that's a work session. Or we do a quick meeting and then just make that the agenda for that one too.
Mm.
It's just gonna be. Not saying we won't be able to do it, but
And we can roll
That's
from a
like
regular
1
meeting
to 2
into a work
meetings every-
session, or vice versa. Do a work session
every
first
week.
and then roll into a meeting if we want to at least approve minutes.
Yep.
And get some of our,
but you're not here in July.
I'm gonna be on the
I want
8th.
you here
Oh.
for that discussion, so.
I'll be in person case Caicos.
Nice.
Can we just push it to July 15th?
I could do the following week.
We could just push the
It'd
meeting
probably
now.
be easier for us too, because we
And
won't
we're
be,
the
we won't be
July
dealing with
kids.
cleanup. that
Yeah,
week,
it's
so-
just that 2 weeks prior to the 4th of July is like,
And the week after,
time.
yeah.
and then the week before that. In June, we have a meeting, and we also have.
so you're just
present to the
suggesting
board.
moving our regular meeting from the 8th to the 15th?
Mhm.
I'm sorry to be here. Okay, you
I'm
want
good
to
with
vote on
that.
that?
That may be the C3 committee or C3 working sessions, the downtown get-togethers they do.
Here?
No, they do them at different businesses. But that might be that night. So, I don't know if you guys are interested or go to those things too.
Could we do Thursday, the 16th then, so that doesn't conflict?
Works for me.
I don't want to lose momentum either.
No,
I'd be
agreed.
happy on the calendar
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
know that we're.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, if it's 1 week away, we're all gonna be like, well.
Right.
I've got, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, good for me.
Joe, will you be able to move your schedule to get to the Thursday?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I can do
That far in advance, is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll just need to make sure we let Laura know that we would change that date.
Oh, Laura Lynn would be at the downtown meeting.
So the 6th.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, she
For
was
sure.
definitely there. And then also I say that just because that's the tentative schedule, but they don't actually have it scheduled yet, as far as I know, so. We'll have to play that one by ear and see if it is on that Wednesday. If not, then.
Okay.
We should know within, that's in July, right?
Yeah.
We'll know sooner than later.
Cool.
So we're keeping the May 13th, June 10th, and then moving July to the 16th potentially, and no special meeting in June.
Unless deemed at the May meeting that we need it.
Okay.
Most likely, it would be for touching up of master plan. Okay.
July already.
Think about that.
July's here. It's basically
Okay.
July.
Oh, moving July to 6.
It's a joke.
Oh.
Said
So
July's
there.
coming, I said, that's right there.
Oh,
cancel July.
the whole July. Thank you, I appreciate you pointing, 'cause I didn't get it. I know, I'm like, I'm
Only deleting
wow.
columns.
I think it was just last year we canceled that meeting. I think it was a carryover because
Yeah.
the 4th was on the Friday, and so we were all recovering when we came back. Like the town just wasn't ready. That's
Cool. Okay, although we have Parks Tour up next, do we want to run through announcements? And then, or do we just want to discuss Library Park from in here?
It'd
We all-
probably be viable to go out there and
Yeah,
talk
we
about
should-
some
We
things.
should definitely go out there and talk about it.
I don't know, what announcements do we have?
Arbor Day, we already talked about.
Yeah. It's spring,
So you guys are busy,
we're busy.
you good, thanks.
We all know that, sports starts this weekend. We had a softball tournament last weekend that went really well. Adult tournament. Actually went really well.
Yeah.
2 full days. We had what, 8 teams. I can't remember.
Friday night and all day Saturday.
Yeah, eight teams, which is really good for 2-day tournament.
One.
A team.
Not mine.
Team.
A team.
A team.
You got Harvest coming this weekend, Harvest Soccer.
Yep.
Soccer, viewpoint flag football. Yep. We've got quite a few rentals coming already, so the ball fields are already being used for practices and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in full swing. We mowed today. It's here. It snuck up on us quick this year with all the lack of cold, really.
Cold,
Yeah.
Soil temperatures are so warm.
Yeah, everything's growing even without some water somehow, so.
Keep eyes on trees.
Rolling in all the dead grass.
Tracking it into the house.
Oh, one thing did I mention to you guys that Park Meadows had the backflow stolen? Did I not mention that to this group?
Yeah.
Someone broke into the cage, the backflow cage, and cut it and pulled the backflow for the copper and brass. So we did a repair there and put a more sophisticated cage on top of it that's locked down a little bit better. So vandalism.
That's ridiculous.
So
Our tech at that park worked really hard to get it done though, so
yeah,
it looks great.
it does look really good. Give it a look if you go over there. And then just for everybody's awareness in general, the town we don't have actual like watering restrictions. We have best practices. And when the public sees that the local entity ourselves are watering, and the town is also saying try not to water till April 15th. One thing to keep in mind is that we do it for one, to protect our infrastructure. We have millions of dollars of trees that we have to protect. So when we're not getting water, either we're bucketing out or tubbing out water and hand watering it, or because we can't get to it that fast with all the trees that we have, we're paying our contractor out of our tree budget, or we're turning on irrigation. But also we're trying to limit where we're watering to safety areas like the sports fields. We can't just let those be dormant until kids start playing on them, because then they'll die. Also, they're very hard, and they wouldn't
safe.
Qualify for safety as far as impact attenuation. So you think about muscle injuries and concussions and stuff like that. So
Broken
So
bones.
just, exactly. Rolled ankles because they're slipping rather than
Mhm.
sticking in.
Or carrying something.
So just something to think about, and you as stewards of the park system, if you hear anything or say anything, like, there are reasoning behind it. We're not trying to overwater. We're just doing what's correct to make sure that, the programs that people are paying for and that, the tax money is going towards, and the infrastructure it's paying for is kept for the public use. So we're doing our best practices. Like just for instance, like at Viewpoint's been turned on, but the football fields and the rugby field, which we rent out, those are getting watered. Around the tennis courts where it's passive turf, up close to the playground, get some, because you still have to have that transition, but on the sides and all that stuff, we're trying to really reduce the watering because we understand we're trying to follow our rules, but on the sports field, same thing with Harvest Park,
WCP.
and Wellington Community Park. And a softball tournament. Well, you have to have water because infields, but also the outfields. And then the bowl is heavily practiced on, but north and along the fringes, if there's no trees, we turn those zones off or very minimally use them if they're overlapping some trees. And I am working on, I'll present it to this group, and I've been working on it, and Eric actually is doing a talk on tomorrow. Tomorrow, he's doing a talk. It's the Colorado Parks and Recreation Association's summer parks or spring parks roundup workshop. It's all held in Greeley at the Island Grove every year. So we'll attend. There's a director's section meeting, so I'll go and work at the director's section, and then he's giving a talk on
Drought mitigation and other.
and it's a round table. And I'm working on drought mapping for our parks that would basically specifically dial in the areas of like high importance. What I just described, all the things I just described, medium importance, and then low importance, and then they can be shifted depending on what kind of drought conditions or fire conditions we're in. So I'll present that to this group. Sweet. And we'll go through a lot of the mapping that we've been doing over the past year and a half or 2 years and show you everything.
Yeah.
At some point when the bigger projects slow down.
Well, I appreciate the information about the watering because it makes a lot more sense the way you explained it. So
Yeah.
That's awesome. Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's obviously it's not our goal to do something that is outside of what we're asking people to do, but there is a difference between a residential lawn where and then someone that can take and do 3 or 4 trees with a hose or push into the ground versus the 2,400 trees that we have.
Thought about doing a social media post talking about exactly
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
like wondering why we're.
There's a fine balance between like drawing attention to it
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
explaining it to people. So that's kind of the like debate that we ride on is like, do we tell people that we're,
Yeah.
jumping ahead of the game, or do we just like explain to those that say something? It's just kind of.
And we're in the parks, and we we talk to the people that are out there. And if you hear anything, just direct them my way, right?
Or mine, yeah.
Yeah, our way, I should say.
And those guidelines are, as important as they are year round, they're primarily the most important during hot months. So, I mean, drawing attention to it, yeah, same kind of thing, but like the real big importance is the 2 times a month, 2 times a week watering, the scheduling, the time of the day that it recommends in the guidelines for hot weather.
Cyclone soak,
Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot less
deeper
than,
watering.
a lot less than the early spring watering, so.
And I forgot to mention this too. One huge portion of this is a residential sprinkler system is all 1 inch, mostly pop-ups, some rotors. We have 4 6-inch main lines. So if we wait till the last minute to turn those things on, we have problems, and we're just compounding ourselves when we start mowing. So we also have to do our checks and tests, and we got pumps and backflows that get stolen, and heads that are kicked off everywhere. Then if we don't check those right away, then we're in the long run wasting water because we can't get to them right away. So
Good idea.
it's a well-rounded way of me saying that we do our best, but we also have to we have to maintain the public spaces.
Takes more than like a weekend for us to fix, a park that blows up, whereas like I can fix my backyard
Right.
in a weekend if there's some issues, so.
Yep.
Okay. Liaison update?
Yes, okay, so I was gonna talk about water restrictions, we already talked about that. The Cleveland Avenue project is progressing. I will recommend and send out the information for those monthly get-togethers, because I think they're really important. I think Chris would benefit from being involved too, because it's somebody brought up, it's an access to parks that could be, considered. So, and they are still planning downtown park activities like the market all through construction. So something for you guys to consider and know about. So and good just to be updated on that giant project. The business support program too, not so much PROST related, but you guys should all apply to win gift cards up to $250. So it's really easy to get into the drawing for those. I'm not eligible. We're not eligible.
Nope.
But you guys
I
are.
did, I signed up and I was like. "Oh,
You are,
so,
yeah, you
alright,
are.
okay, cool.
Just Main
I
Street
thought that was
town
great.
employees can. And pending the new board, I am planning on dropping all my advisory boards. Except for this. This is my favorite. This is my heart. So unless anybody has a preference of new incoming board members that they want to be a liaison, my goal is to stay with PROST. And I won't be a liaison to Main Street or I can't even remember. Like, what am I on?
That's
There's so
probably
many
why you
things.
need to drop.
The Wellington Housing Authority and the county, and I don't need to list them all to you, but I'm gonna try to lessen my load and only focus on PROST. We got great people coming in that are already really focused on these other groups, so I think it's all in good hands. So I wanted to let you guys know, I want the continuity. I know Laura Lynn's big on continuity, so and I just love this. And then on a personal note, I'm going to start planning Wellarama hardcore. And of course, that's going to be involved with everybody. Right now, I'm just getting community groups involved because it's going to be community driven by everybody in the community. So, and I would love for PROST to have and participate in that as well. So
Yeah.
that'll be coming. I have a picture from what the 60s, 70s, whatever the Leaper Center existed with Leaper in the picture with the entire room, this entire room packed completely, more than I've ever seen for any book bands or anything like that. Of people here just for Wellarama planning, the yearly like committee that got together.
This is Laurel and sent that to me.
The 70s.
Did she just?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a while back.
I pushed the picture.
I was passing around.
I may have just taken a picture. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I did that. But yeah, so whether it's like sponsoring an event, like a 5K, for example, as part of it, races and competitions are a big part of Wellarama. This will be a great opportunity to host a 5K. Which distance running, I don't think necessarily was it, but you know, we gotta modernize things as they come. Three-legged races, potato sack races, all kinds of contests. I don't know if we can get the grease pole thing. That seems so incredibly dangerous. Who knows? But
I would love that.
yeah.
What is your target for that? Is that this year and like fall?
So Wellarama is a celebration of the paving of Cleveland Avenue. So I wanted to do it as the celebration of Cleveland Avenue construction project.
Okay.
So it will likely be well after it is completed, but I hope it will go every year forever after that. So I think 2027 is when it needs to go down. Summertime, 2027. So that's a big plan.
You do like a Memorial Day kickoff summer bash, or is it in the summer?
It's usually, well, I want it to be a whole week.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's sweet. We had that in
I
my
think it's the
hometown too.
Parks Day.
I mean, those are all the things
Yeah,
that we
like a
can
big
coordinate with it. For
That's
something.
it, all the little.
Yeah,
Right.
and I have a calendar, so nothing overlaps.
It's
And
really cool.
people
It's a small
sponsor
town.
their events all over in the
Little bit.
calendar, and then they do their own planning, so we don't have to babysit anybody. And then just advertise it all together. So, yeah, that's when
Very cool.
tractor pulls, mud races, you know, do the old school Wellington stuff and some new
That's
stuff
great.
too. So, yeah, so it's gonna be fun, and we'll have 1 million people working on it. What?
Where you doing mud race?
I know a
That's
lot
fun.
where it used to
That
happen.
used to happen.
Or
Yeah.
used
They,
When we had
Well,
water.
for the 4th of July, we had them behind toy storage a couple times.
Yeah, really?
And then when the people that owned up north were doing them, they've since moved though.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that property consists of anymore. Yeah.
We got a big old empty lot. Where we
I think it was
collect
tractor
branches.
drags though. It wasn't mud race.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, it
that's
was,
such a
it
cool
was
spot.
tractor drag racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry, the guy who used to work here, did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do it that close to the interstate?
There used to be a
I mean, this is why we.
Lawnmower
ask for it
races and
now,
everything.
And then we ask
Oh,
for it,
yeah.
like, just kidding.
Yeah.
And then we make it happen. So, I mean, if we have enough planning, whatever we can do is gonna
Yeah.
happen. So, that's my.
See how many kids are driving lawnmowers around town on the roads. Let's get them racing them.
And wearing helmets.
And helmets.
And wearing helmets. Yeah, so all kinds of things.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and if anybody needs me for anything or has any questions, I'm available. Going through the extra random things I'm doing right now, and none of them are really super Parks and Rec related, so. I'm around. And I plan to continue being around for first, so I'm so excited. Oh, I'm gonna be pushing things so hard, so. I'm bringing some stuff like within a month that's gonna knock some socks off, but I'm not gonna tell you yet, secret.
Close to the best.
Yes. Yes,
It's exciting.
yeah, so I may need your input on however you feel about that when it comes out.
Well, I'm super excited that you're gonna stick around. It was one of my thoughts. I was like, oh no. So I'm really glad you're gonna stay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
One of the new trustees is already on the Wellington Housing Authority. One of them's already on the Main Streets Board. One of them's, like, we got it covered. I don't have to do it all anymore. So,
That's great.
That was the other one I did was the Housing Authority. Before
Yeah.
I dropped that and stayed here, so. It's a good board though.
really big stuff coming to town. Oh, Habitat for Humanity is coming to town, not so parks related, but. We got some good things coming.
Any board members have updates?
I know we had talked about doing the trash pickup next
Oh, yeah.
weekend.
I have that on my schedule.
I can't. I'm taking my first registration exam next Thursday, so my weekend will be studying. Sorry.
I'll be there.
I'll be the 12th, right? I'll be there.
Can we decide the 12th, not the 19th? Or do
Yeah.
we push it to the night? Okay.
Yeah. we decided to talk, yeah.
I have it down as the 12th, weather permitting.
That's,
The day before our dinner.
It won't be like warm, but it's not supposed to be bad.
What time do you guys want to meet at? And is this more of an unofficial thing, or are we still trying to push to groups?
anybody you can get.
Yeah. 10?
Do we want to try and organize it towards one park? Or do you think we're gonna have enough people to split it like we thought?
I doubt, my suggestion would be,
I don't think we'll get that many people to split parks up.
my suggestion would be to meet after, since it's the day after first soccer at Harvest, and typically the creek that runs along the knolls in here is the one that collects the most trash and kind of hardest to get to. Specifically going up towards the underpass and then after the underpass.
And then if there's a lot of people, then we can send each small group to wherever they need to go from there, if we have enough people.
Any other thoughts?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
What time?
Wherever they can pick up trash is helpful.
6:30? Oh, sure.
5
What do you
a.m.
think,
You
like
better
10
calm
a.m.?
down.
Turns light, 5
On
a.m.
Sunday, we want to try and get it.
I would
do
do
like
probably-
noon,
Yeah, I would do after church is out.
like 11:30 noon, 11 o'clock. I don't know what time though.
I would think 11, you probably hit most people. And then it gives them time to pick up trash real quick before they go to lunch.
11.
I typically don't get back to Wellington until about 1 on Sundays, but that may change depending on maybe morning church instead.
That works for me. I have a soccer game, but I will be done back up by 11ish. 11:15.
We'll meet at Knowles and Linear.
No,
No.
yeah. Just meet at the Knowles parking lot.
Okay.
Across from ice. 1/3. Great.
Easy. I'll ride my bicycle.
Well, too. We'll bring stuff.
Me
I'll
too.
meet in spring.
Stuff.
I don't
Maybe
know.
Springs.
Yeah, the hands smell.
Oh, yeah.
I wanna invite the
Busy weekend.
cleanup group that Jess and Dream does.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
definitely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Bring the trucks, we can throw a bunch of bags in it,
You're gonna wash it anyway. Clean
wash
it
it afterwards.
up.
Great.
Okay. Since the park tour is part of the meeting, I don't suggest that we adjourn right now. We just do our visit and then we can adjourn from outside. If everybody's okay with that. I do think it's a good idea to put some eyes out there though. Talk about a few
Yeah,
things.
you have to stop recording, but.
Yep.